Did she hit the button?
She hit the button. The button's been hit.
Button's
We
hit.
didn't have to run
Hey,
out of the table.
no hitting the button. Beautiful.
Yay.
Okay, yay. I'm sure it's not going to happen every week, but you know.
Hi, YouTube.
Not only is it's unusual for us to have my lovely wife here with us, and she's walking off camera because she don't want to be seen. Okay, bye, honey.
She wasn't on camera anyway.
Okay,
she was always behind
the camera, walking away from the camera is what I meant.
It's one thing to break the fourth wall. It's another thing altogether to incorrecly break the fourth wall.
Are we breaking the fourth wall?
I mean,
we're not in comic books. There's no fourth wall. Okay, maybe you're right. Okay, it's been a long morning already. So anyway. Welcome to the Printed Pedal Podcast YouTube podcast. Yay. So we're going to talk a little bit today about review of what we just read for last week.
January 29th.
We're going to talk about next week. And we're going to do our previews for April.
Woohoo.
Actually, I'm pretty excited about April.
Yeah.
I'm mad at Marvel because they're buttholes, but... yeah.
So normally, guys, when we do this, and unfortunately this is the first one, so you can't compare, I'll have 3 or 4 little marks of things that I'm interested in. I have, I think, more than Garin this time around.
Yeah,
now,
which is freaking me out.
I build my previews list slightly differently, so I build a list to bring to the shop to know what I'm going to have to order.
Right.
And so I start from scratch, as if I've never read a book before, and I start at the beginning of the previous book and work my way through it.
You even have one down here.
And... yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, well, no, it's
okay.
fine.
All right.
It's a facsimile edition.
Okay, gotcha.
So.
Okay, it's nothing special. Gotcha. All right.
No, it is something special. It just didn't make sense.
I mean, not like a new book or anything like that.
Yeah.
That we're gonna. Okay.
No, it's extremely special. Don't facsimile shame me.
So we had a big sale over the weekend at our local LCS, and
you can say their name.
Actually, LCS is Nirvana Comics Knoxville. So had a big sale. And had a guy looking at our facsimiles, because I had a few just sitting out for sale, and the guy was like, I can't believe they're doing this. I said, why? He said, well, they're doing one thing is to do the True Believers. It's another to do a facsimile of the book. I said, okay, well, you're just demeaning and you're reducing the value of the original book. And I'm like, no, actually.
God, I hope so.
No, actually, what you're doing is you're increasing the value of the original book because now people really want it more. Mm-hmm. I mean, a great example is David. I was able to finally find the 266 you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like getting a facsimile means now I kind of want that original book. I want to go get it. So I look at it 2 ways. There are books that the facsimile edition is enough for me. So X-Men #1. May I someday come into the money that I'm able to buy a 4/5 copy of X-Men #1 or giant size X-Men #1 or Amazing Fantasy 15. Yeah.
Those are those high sought after low population books. I mean, there's very few of those out there in the world that are for sale or for sale at a price that I could ever afford.
Right.
I think Amazing Fantasy 15 would set me back like 5 years' wages or some crazy thing.
It's $500,000.
Oh, it's more than that. Then.
Yeah.
So yeah,
a really good copy is about $500,000. I mean, you can get a good copy for
$250,000.
Yeah, $250,000.
Not $250.
$250,000.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I think that the facsimile editions do a real nice thing for those of us who want to have that book in the collection, but don't have $500,000 to spend on it. Anybody who argues that $3.99 copy devalues that $500,000 copy, I will say to you, you're an idiot.
No.
And you need to rethink your understanding of geopolitical structure and commerce.
Yeah, money-wise, all it's going to do is increase the value of the good stuff, especially the Silver Age stuff, because it's only going to go up in value. As it ages, it goes up in value because there's fewer and fewer of them.
Green Lantern #1 is a facsimile edition.
I can't wait for that one.
It's one that I don't really care about, but I don't like Hal Jordan. I've said it over and over and over again. He reminds me of someone I don't like in the real world.
Early Hal Jordan he still had some fear. It's the current Hal Jordan run. You're just like, I can't stand this guy because he's an arrogant butt. But you're right.
Yeah.
But in Rebirth, he wasn't. In Rebirth, he was. I'm trying to get back to where I was. So that's one of the reasons I like Hal Jordan so much is because he has overcome so much. He was Parallax. He was evil.
I liked him as Parallax.
He fought being evil and saved everybody. And
that guy's arrogance
himself.
would make him a villain, not a hero.
Well, yeah. At that point, yeah, you're right. When he was Parallax, he wasn't a hero.
To be fair, that I really enjoyed the end of Black Stars for that very reason, because essentially he just was less of a bad guy than the bad guy.
Yeah, still a bad guy in some ways.
Oh yeah,
not really. I mean, he still saved everybody
Total
because
asshat.
okay. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but for now, let's go ahead and start our regular podcast, and we'll do review.
Review? You excited about review?
Yes, this is some good stuff this week.
And you guys get to watch us press the button and do all that stuff before you get to see the actual recording.
You got good battery?
Yeah. Okay. 3 bars, man.
Okay, good.
3 bars. Love my Tascam. Love my Zoom. It's wonderful. All right, guys.
We were not paid to say either of those things, just so you know. But if the company see this and they want to pay us, Tascam, if you want to pay us to talk about your Tascam, we will. That's awesome.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
This has supported the podcast for a long time.
Very good.
All right, here we go. Hi, and welcome to the Printed Panel Podcast. I'm David.
Hello, I'm Garin.
Why are you doing the porn voice today?
I don't know.
Just
my wife
felt like it. Yeah, feeling frisky.
Yeah. Why, hello there. How are you?
I don't think that's the porn voice, but all right, guys, we're here to do.
That's the gigolo voice. Hey, baby, how you doing? No,
so disturbed.
Joey. Okay, no.
I need an adult.
An adult or adult?
So,
because you're an adult.
January 29th review. Please God, let's talk about comic books. This was the heaviest week so far this year. We had more
this year. This was a big week. Yeah,
had more going on this week than we've had thus far, and there were some really fun twists and turns.
Yeah, there were some surprises this week.
Yeah,
in a lot of more ways than one.
So we've already done. If you're watching us on YouTube, we do a little 6 to 10 minute segment called "Whose is Bigger," where we literally lay out our stacks here and kind of go through really quick and just kind of see who read more comics. I tried to cheat this week and still lost.
You put a graphic novel in there, and you don't do that. Come on.
I put a trade paperback in there. Yes, I did.
Yes, you just no. You don't.
You
no,
made
no,
me
that's
read
not.
it.
No, I did. Make
you
read
you
it.
made me read it.
To be fair, we have an interview scheduled with the creator. So
to be fair, I pulled issue 1 way back in the day and just kind of went, nope, this is not for me.
Well, I mean, but you read the whole thing though, so it's good. So it's good.
So you let me count it. Thank you, and then still beat my 3 or 4 bucks. All right, so let's get into it. You've got stuff before DC, so what you got, buddy?
Well, we always talk about independent books first. So let's talk about Ablaze. This is fantastic. This is this is the Vampire State #4. It's the finale. Genuinely, I thought this was going to be an ongoing series, but it's just 4 parts. And of course, as you've been listening, you know that this has been one of those books that's it's been Charlie Adlard has been doing the art for it.
I do love Charlie Adlard's art. I picked up issue 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And the story just wasn't for me. But
it's not phenomenal, but it's well written, and it is beautifully viewed. So essentially, they're pumping kerosene and napalm into the Empire State Building through the water system, through the sprinklers to kill off these vampires. Because vampires, we all know, you set them on fire, they're going to die.
Le vampire est flambé.
So the heroes, the girl and the boy hero, they wound up escaping to the 52nd floor and into the room where the main vampires come out of. So yeah, they're now safe and they get saved and blah blah blah. So I really wish they'd done more, because you could have done a whole thing where the vampires are stranded on Manhattan, or they couldn't get off the island. That would have been really good too. So I'm kind of disappointed they didn't do that. But this was fantastic. So very impressed. Anything from Boom for you?
I don't have Boom. You have Boom.
Boom is Something is Killing the Children #5. This is the big issue where she actually gets to start attacking. What she finds, though, is she found a nest. She didn't find the killing ground. She found the nest, and there's actually babies out there that she has to go now hunt down. Great series. This has been fantastic. And the octopus finally starts talking to everybody. Or is it? Yeah, okay. So if you haven't been reading this genuinely is a really good book. It really is. And it's Tinian. So great writer, too. So another really good book. So
you got to evoke the Holy Tinian or Tinian.
Tinian. And I apologize, James. We don't mean to mess your name up, unfortunately, because it should be Tinian, but Tinian is probably more pronounced. It's probably like Welsh?
As a quick aside,
or Irish?
I'm going to say that the thing you can count on me to do throughout this, besides talk about booby books and suggest that Robert Liefeld needs to draw Batman covers, haven't done it in a while, is that
a day. You haven't done it in a day.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to probably from time to time suggest that someone's name is something that's not. But
right, and we don't mean to. We apologize. I mean, we are just poor Southern folk.
Yeah, I'm a hillbilly.
So Dark Horse gave us this week Frankenstein Undone. This has been a beautifully done book. Mignola tells the story, and essentially it is the story of Frankenstein as he's left. He's killed his master. He's wound up killing people by accident. He's left, and he's kind of gone to the Arctic. He befriends these polar bears who become essentially his family, his surrogate family. They're the only ones accepting of him because they don't care. He helps kill some and so that way they can get some meat and they become a little family. Well, this creature comes along, and this creature kills one of the polar bear babies, and he goes nuts and tries to kill the creature, who is 3 times his size. Turns out the creature is actually a werewolf-type character that the guy can change his form. He's safe, but he's in this... How dare you? Anyway, so, pretty good book. I kind of want to see what happens with it. There's only 5 issues, so... The narrative is very, very old school, very, very Frankenstein. The original book, very narrative. So it's good. I liked it. So.
I was totally wrong. They aren't phasopods. They're praesopods.
Praesopods.
Praesopods. Prase. I don't know what difference it makes, but
gotcha. Thank you.
They've ended invasion of the Betty Snatchers as of this issue. And I am dying to see what they're going to do next. It has been a lot of fun. So she couldn't pilot the Praisapod shit. Guys, this was really like... Ben suggested that we start doing our surprise book of the week after...
and thank you for the suggestion, Ben. It was a good one.
Which was the one that... Oh, Avengers of the Wasteland kind of really blew him away. We'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
I kind of have a problem with the concept because... I intentionally don't buy books I think are going to be bad and then get surprised that they're good.
Well, but to be fair,
I see what he's saying.
There are books that we do get that do surprise us with emotion, how much emotion you feel from it, or the fact that, holy crap, I didn't see that coming. I've got 2 this week that did that for me. Like, literally was like... Whoa,
so as a title, I feel Betty Page would be that thing that if I could get in other people's hands, they would be surprised at how good it is, how really good the writing is, how good the art is.
I genuinely think you're right about her. I think that a lot of people, they think it is a booby book only, and that's all.
It definitely is not. She's most of the time dressed in an overcoat and doing spy type stuff. So IDW, I have TMNT number 102.
I had Picard 2 and 3.
Yeah, and I like the direction they're going with TMNT. The guys are very much all on different pages. Jenica is definitely finding her own successful place in the TMNT verse, and I think there's going to be some other long-running mutants that we're going to get out of this. I don't think we're going to see a cure for everybody, although there is always a chance.
Are Bebop and Rocksteady, are they still around in this?
They weren't in this issue or the last one.
Oh, okay.
So they are around though. So you've got Picard. Tell me about Picard.
So all right. Our LCS Nirvana, we got shorted on issue 2, and of course, unfortunately, sometimes with independence, when you're shorted, that's it. You can't get more.
Yeah.
I'd wound up digging one up offline. So, so if you've been watching the Picard show, there is this really cool thing where at the very beginning you see these 2 Romulans that are basically his, not servants necessarily, not butlers, but they're more like they're helping him and they help in the vineyard. And you find out why here. He goes to this planet to go rescue Romulans because that's what's happening. The Romulan in rescue has been going on. He's at this new ship. He's not captain of the Enterprise anymore. And he goes to this planet and he finds those Romulans there, but the Romulans have enslaved this whole race of people, and there's millions of these people there, and he won't leave without them. They capture him and try to capture the ship. Well, you find out that the 2 people that are working with him are Tal Shiar. They're basically the Romulan secret police. They fall in love with each other while they're there. They've been there for 20 years, and they help Picard because they realize it's the right thing to do. So that's where the 2 characters come from, and this is what leads into the show. So this is a really good series. I'm very happy with
How's
that.
the show?
It's really good. So and if you're not a Trekkie, you're not gonna like it. But if you're Trekkie, if you like Next Generation, I
just like Patrick Stewart and pretty much that cast. If I was going to be any kind of Star Trek follower, it would be Next Gen.
Yeah,
so I'm super happy that there's
awesome.
some sequel to Next Gen.
Love it.
And Will Wheaton doing the talk afterwards doesn't hurt my feeling.
Actually, he's pretty great.
Of course, he's pretty great.
Will Wheaton's pretty fantastic anyway. But the reality is he got kind of drummed out of the show. He didn't get to do the character he wanted to do.
Shut up, Wesley.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what happened. So, and he still gets that. In fact...
and if Will Wheaton were to walk up and punch me in the face for that, I would not even be mad.
You'd be like, you know what? I understand.
I earned that one. Thank you.
You're right.
Please, sir, may I have another?
But no, he on his Facebook page. Of course, I've actually conversed with him on his Facebook page. He does monitor his own page, and he said, he basically anyone does say to him, "Shut up, Wesley," or "Shut up," or "Shut up,"
shut up, Will.
Shut up, whatever. He'll ban them immediately. Boom.
As they should.
Yeah, you're banned. So because it's ridiculous. It's demeaning. But he does Ready Room, and he talks to the creator showrunners, and it's great. It's actually kind of a perfect kind of addendum to the show. So, all right. So what do we got next? We got Image. You go first. What do you got for Image?
I got Criminal. All right, guys. If you're not following Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips in literally everything they do, you're insane. This is one of those comics that you do not have to be a comic fan to be a fan of.
It's not.
It's about organized crime, or maybe in this series, disorganized crime.
Well, Killer Be Killed was the same thing. It was not a comic book. Really, it was more like
it was definitely a comic book.
Well, it was a comic book, but it was not.
Your buddy Tyler would say the best kind of comic book that is not capes and tights.
Exactly,
so,
definitely not capes and tights. Just like that.
I'm a big fan of not capes and tights books, but Criminal has been phenomenal. This was the last issue. Interestingly enough, this is Teague Lawless on the cover, and in the end of the last issue, you saw him shot in the head with a shotgun.
Yeah.
They retconned a little bit in this one, so he didn't get shot in the head; he got shot in the chest. But I hate that literally this was the final panel, and it's like, okay, well that dude's definitely dead. The top of his head's blown off, and
he's not.
Interestingly enough,
not dead.
You should read it because it ends up that way anyway.
Philadelphia number 3. Number 3? Yeah, Philadelphia number 3. Just double checking.
What number am I?
That's on my list. All right, Philadelphia number 3. It's all about vampires, and it's about vampires that are actually pretty much all created in the United States by President John Adams. Not kidding. It is a ludicrous ludicrous idea, but it's been a fantastic read.
Yeah, listening to you talk about it, I can tell you as soon as the first trade's out, I'm going to snag it.
Oh, it's good. I mean, if you like vampires, which clearly we have Redneck in our list, clearly you like this is going to be really good. So, fun book. This actually should be for Black History Month as well, because most of the characters are African American characters. So, pretty great. So, awesome. All right. Protector number 1. So, we got Redneck.
This was the most shocking damn thing. So, if you read Conan Exodus, and I don't say read in much but an ironic way, you thumbed
no
through
words.
and there was no words at all.
Nothing. No dialogue whatsoever.
You're prepared well for this book. Now, I just noticed chapter 1 of 6 of Tall Tales. Mm-hmm. So, this is setting up some of the lore behind vampires in the Redneck universe.
So, the first vampire. Where did the first vampire come? How old is the first vampire?
He drank of the blood of Christ, literally.
So this Christ is being pulled down from the cross, and this person keeps seeing this demon in the background, but keeps thinking it's just
no. That was Satan himself.
Okay. The Satan, the Beelzebub himself. So he sees Satan, and he keeps shaking his head. No, I can't see this, and then Satan, as he finally convinces him to actually drink the blood of Christ.
And Donnie Cates used biblical verse.
The whole thing, Leviticus is in this. I mean, there's biblical verses all throughout.
In there.
This is,
and contradicting.
Yeah,
those that eat of the flesh of man and drink of the blood of man will be cast out
because
but drink
it's a vampire.
Drink of my blood and eat of my flesh, and you shall live forever. It was like, oh.
So Donnie Cates is a genius. Let's just be honest.
Did you expect me to fill in that blank?
I wanted you to, but he's a genius, and he's.
I was going to say Virgo.
I love this man, so follow him into the pits of hell.
Or into the pits of Asgard.
Asgard or something.
Do not show yours, man. Like
I'm covering the bits. So Sex
Criminals is back.
You have yours backwards.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? I see.
No, I don't.
You actually put the...
Yeah. Because children. Because even though it says our show is not for those under 18.
So,
anyway. And remember, we're recording audio too.
And
that's too pornographic for audio.
This is the Jason Latour cover. Great book. It is a manic book, though, because she cannot decide. She's trying to figure out where her head is.
Man, Matt Fraction's personality is all that. And if you read the afterword,
they're going to have an issue 69. I love it.
There was such a there was such an explanation of why sex criminals fell apart.
Yeah.
How he doesn't care about the story of them robbing Badal and all in the bank and all that.
He
stuff.
realized how much he cares just about the two,
Their
the
relationship.
couple. Yeah. So that's why they get back together, and you see at the end of the book that he's in prison. I mean, it's like
like all through this, they've been together, but they never really were, and it's all kind of
because she's been talking to him, and he's not actually there.
Right.
So it's been a fantastic read. I'm sad that this is the last arc. But there's 7 issues total left.
From a writer's perspective, there are times that you need to tie up the story. I've done exactly what Matt Fraction talked about. I've written a character and written a character and written a character and had a narrative going along, and then realized
you're like, I'm done with this.
I'm really, really done with this. Now, the fortunate thing is I've never had something hit publication and then felt that way. But there are stories literally sitting on the hard drive of my computer right now that I will probably never pick back up because I fell totally out of love with the story and was completely disenfranchised, and there wasn't a way for me to resurrect it.
You know, every
Speaking
time
of resurrection, how about no? They did not resurrect Alfred Pennyworth.
No,
this was as I predicted, though. Detective Comics Annual Number 3. I said I wanted Tomasi to go and
homage
and basically pay homage to Alfred. Let Bruce mourn a bit, and I got exactly what I wanted.
He did. He got to mourn,
and it was done in a way where it was wrapping up one of Alfred's MI6 missions.
Yeah.
So
great mission, great.
So
you know, it's so funny. So this woman comes and she basically breaks into the mansion, and then Bruce is like, you know, I can have security here. She's like, okay, whatever. And basically, she knows exactly who he is. She knows he's Batman, but she skirts around it and says,
never says it.
And says, if your friend or friends would like to join me in Russia at this address on this day, that'd be fine too. So basically, she has wrapped up the mission and bring in the double agent that they'd had that Pennyworth couldn't capture. So
yeah,
great story, very well done.
Green Lantern Black Stars.
Called it. So I love when I read something, I go, oh, David called it. And I actually texted him like, oh, you called it. And you're like, damn it. And so, yeah, he called it. It was not a dream, but literally he had captured these people in a pocket universe, a dead pocket universe, and created everything from scratch.
Yeah.
This is how powerful this man is. This is how powerful the lantern in him is.
This is how you tell a bad story. If you want to just wreck a universe in the DC universe, you just grab a reality and
an empty reality.
No,
it was a dead reality. I mean, it had nothing going on.
It was a reality where the Guardians were already gone.
But don't just Guardians. There was nothing. There was no people left. Remember, because
there were people left.
Were there people left?
Yeah, that's why there was an Earth. I
thought that people were dead though.
No.
Were there There was no heroes on Earth either.
There were heroes. Like everybody that was in the book was from that reality.
Oh, okay.
He just took the place of the Green Lantern Corps with the Black Stars. He gave them what they wanted. And then you find out that Mew is in the ships, and they're obviously going to try to cross realities, and there will be more. And
and of course, the cliffhanger it for issue 1.
Bees Beleth is going to definitely be...
Beelzebub Beleth.
No.
Whatever.
Bees Beleth.
She's
definitely going to want to get down with Hal now because he tricked her.
Yeah, this was fantastic. And I don't know what you're smoking.
And he's going to try to talk me into Volume 2. So.
You're going to buy number 1 of Volume 2 just because you want to see the end of this. I know that's what you're going to do.
I did see the end of this in Black Stars number 3. Justice League.
Speaking of an ending.
39. Speaking of a non-ending.
So, I don't know.
Okay, here's my feelings about the book. If you want to go watch this on YouTube, I just threw the book down. Like, thanks, Snyder. What did you do?
I will say the very beginning was amazing. They bring Martian Manhunter back, and Martian Manhunter connects all the people on Earth to say, finally, join us. They start to join him, but then they turn to Perpetua anyway.
Yeah, they choose Doom.
But I do love the fact that all the heroes are all rescued and put in a almost like a pocket universe.
So Perpetua was going to destroy everything.
Right. And she couldn't.
And Gantet and the Presence and Phantom Stranger and Shazam and the High Father use their abilities to
Spectre also. Yeah.
Who is the smallest of that group.
Exactly. He's the only one that's not a god.
And
Gantet, because that's not a god.
If you're one of the Guardians of the Universe.
Technically. Anyway, so
he pulled they pull them out of their costumes into black unitards.
It makes them mortal.
Onto what?
Makes him mortal. Remember, Superman until they release him, he's mortal. He can't fly. He has no superpowers.
He tried though.
He tried. Oh yeah.
He's Superman.
So, but then of course they gave him their powers back, and they are now, hey, listen, now we have to go fix everything. So you may have to go through multiple timelines to do it. And of course, Batman looks at Superman and says, you know what? This is our job. This is what we signed up for. Let's do it. That actually made the book good for me. I liked it. I see what the point is. You're like, why you couldn't just finish? This is your last episode, last issue. You couldn't finish it.
I have to admit, and one of the reasons I like Snyder is Snyder does not mind to do the thing that comics would not want you to do. Comics throughout history would have said that Perpetua was defeated and sealed away, and it was done, and would have given the great triumphant ending.
Yeah.
I like that this wasn't that, but.
Last God number 4. Was that the only one that's confused? Were you confused?
Oh no, I'm confused on every issue of this.
Okay,
so
that's not just me.
There is a book coming out in April called The Last God Sourcebook, which we'll talk about in our previous episode. Please, if you're a big comics fan, listen to the previous episodes.
Thank God, because now we understand what the hell's going on.
But that's what I like about this is it's this high, and I do think this is high fantasy. It's swords and sorcery, but it's a high fantasy world.
It's much bigger than high fantasy. It's literally it's up here, and you're.
It's as if someone very intellectual decided to write a role playing game, and it's
Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Yeah,
I like you, man.
3 names, man.
Like
so love it. I understand a little bit more like the magic side of things. I understand a little bit more King Tyr and what he did, but at the same time, I'm a little bit like.
Well, I mean, so it's clear that they have to go on a quest. They have to go get the people they need. They have to get the resources they need. So they're going to get these resources, but they're going back.
And slave dude's a half elf.
Yeah.
Yeah, he mutilated his ears.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Didn't see that until this was coming. So.
And now it makes me want to go back and look at the first 3 and see if his ears are normal. I don't know.
I've
enjoyed...
Well, his ears are hidden the entire time. Only the other elf can sense an elf.
Yeah.
That's the point. He's like, think.
And according to Alvin custom...
Yeah.
Any half-breed...
Ilvin.
Yeah, whatever.
Ilvin, yeah.
Yeah, that AE thing that I can't do.
Ilvin.
That whole bit...
It's pretty cool. It's pretty
cool. He's an elf and...
He's enough and she's enough, and wouldn't you like to... Okay. Anyway.
So, down to Marvel.
On a roll this morning. So,
Avengers number 30.
Yes. The final reveal.
I didn't call it. Like, I didn't say it out loud, but I did think it. Mom was going to die and the baby was going to be Starbrand.
Oh, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Honestly, that had to happen because there's no way she could survive the Starbrand.
Okay, so let me call what's going to happen next. Because of the Starbrand, it's going to grow up at an accelerated rate.
Of course.
We're going to have that whole cubic thing where you have
a young Starbrand.
A young Starbrand who has this
Who's going to live in Avengers mansion tower.
Yeah.
Celestial thing, yeah.
And it has the ability to destroy reality, and so they're going to spend their time playing nursemaid.
Yeah. By the way, did you read the Doctor Strange Academy thing?
No, I skipped it in every single book they put it in. Although I'm kind of intrigued that Zelma Stanton's involved in it, because I like Zelma.
So, the concept is interesting because...
Nope.
Yes, it is interesting.
Nope. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
I'm probably going to read at least the first one.
So Great, you can talk about it in the review.
I'll review the first one.
Or the previous episode or whatever, but not here. Avengers of the Wasteland.
Surprise book of the week.
I really dreaded this one. And this is what made Ben say, you guys ought to do a surprise book of the week.
Yeah.
This is not my surprise book of the week, though.
Yours by the page.
No. I was willing for this to be good.
What was yours then? What was your surprise?
I'll get to it in a minute.
I thought you were going to do it.
I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay, haven't get to it yet. All right, fine. Fallen Angels. That was your surprise book of the week.
No, we're going to celebrate its ending, yeah. So, Avengers of the Wasteland.
Great book.
Ed Brisson.
Yep.
Ed Brisson, thank you.
Man.
Ed Brisson, thank you, because I felt that the Wastelands were really played out, and that especially Old Man Quill and Old Man Hawkeye were both just tough to read.
Old Man Hawkeye I really enjoyed because it was a revenge story. It was good.
There were parts of it that were really, really good, and there were parts of it that
when he killed the Thunderbolts was pretty great.
Yeah. I didn't care about the Thunderbolts before he killed them.
Well, no, yeah.
They were already dead in my mind.
They're already Thunderbolts.
So, but yeah, really genuinely surprisingly good story. And
so if you bought one, you technically have a key because you have a new Ant-Man who's not really an Ant-Man yet.
Well, they've introduced Dwight a long time ago. Yeah, but it is not a key in that way.
Oh, okay.
So
was a key in that way.
The reason it's key is because it's the return of Captain America, which
I
do not think is Steve Rogers. I could be wrong, but I do not think it's Steve Rogers.
I sincerely doubt it's Steve Rogers.
So, although it's possible that we're seeing the Super Soldier Serum resurrect the way that it did Ultimate Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe.
But
which is possible.
I believe, though, that this is not Cap because we see Cap's death in Old Man Logan, the original storyline.
I'm just saying that it's possible that Super Soldier Serum put him back together.
Okay.
But maybe not.
Yeah.
But either way, that was the big reveal, and I really thoroughly enjoyed Avengers of the Wasteland. Yeah. You've got Captain America next.
Captain America number 18.
Who's he fighting there?
So Scourge is that that's that character that people have been so concerned about and worried about. He's just one step ahead of everything.
It's Dr. Nemesis with Phantom X's mask.
Pretty much, yeah. Scourge winds up getting killed by his own weaponry. There's a betrayal thing going on. It's a little confusing because it's like it I don't know. Tanisi doing a good job, but it's like I feel like there's a piece that we missed somewhere along the line. Maybe I missed it reading.
They'll flash back to it later.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. But no, it's been good. I don't like the fact that he's using the hollow shield again. I think the shield is the way to go, but that's just me.
We can go back and find the episode where you were really excited about the hollow shield.
I was.
And now it's just played.
But I'm just like, no. I mean, yeah, you could throw the hollow shield. Oh boy, it's a solid light. It got me. Yeah, okay, come on. This is not. This is not what I want.
It got me.
This is not what I want. So
speaking of something I did want, Conan the Barbarian number 12.
Yep. To be fair, I did get the issue. It's literally just sitting. I'm not caught up on Conan. I apologize.
Don't defend it.
Don't defend it.
Don't defend it.
I'm not defending anything.
Shame
I'm not caught up.
Shame.
It is shame.
Fi and shame.
Fi?
Fi
you
and
can fi
shame.
on me?
I have fied you. All right.
Wow.
Conan the Barbarian number 12, issue 1. He sets out, this is supposed to be his death story. And speaking of key issue, introducing his son, Khan.
Ooh. Son? He has a son?
He's the king of Aquilonia. You think he hasn't begat a few times? Oh, he's begat. Conan's begat many times. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Sets up the next run of all the great Conan things. And Jim Zub is running the next one. So this is the last, for a while at least,
Jason
maybe
Aaron.
Forever. Jason Aaron.
It's not forever. Jason Aaron working for Marvel, man. He'll be back.
On Conan, though?
That's a guarantee.
All right.
That's strange. There's this Bream. Hey. No. This was good.
How was it good?
He comes back from being almost dead, and he makes new weapons to defeat Wrecker?
He made new weapons
Wrecker.
to defeat Wrecker and Wrecking Ball, or whatever the hell the other guy's name is.
Wrecking Crew, Thunderball. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Speaking of something worse than Doctor Strange.
Wait.
No?
But
I'll wait.
The big reveal, though, is the Dr. Druid has actually been back. He's been dead for a long time.
That's what I have. That's my problem with this book. The big reveal is Dr. Druid's back.
That's your problem?
Who cares?
I mean, but they're friends. They were friends before.
It's just a little pedestrian.
It's Mark Waid. Well written.
For those of you who are not watching this via YouTube, I need you guys to go find us on YouTube and watch how Garin just flipped that book back and forth and correct him on comic handling protocol. This is over. That's all we need to say about Fallen Angels number 6.
Is she walking away? It looked like she's walking away to go do nothing. You're not going to review?
I really don't care.
I mean,
we've already reviewed Fantastic.
Oh, we have actually.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm not going to waste their time.
Young Cable's just a punk.
And Bling and Husk were nowhere in the book at all.
Nope.
And that's literally the tagline for it. With Bling and Husk, who did nothing. Don't even think they were in the book.
Nope, they were in the book.
Seriously, don't think they were in the book.
Not at all. Hold on, let me do this right.
Totally done.
So, Hawkeye, Free Fall. This is issue number 2. So, issue number 1, Ronan came back, right?
Wait a minute.
Are you going to sleep?
Wait a minute. You don't have Immortal Hulk or Conan the Barbarian, which both are phenomenal books that do not ever let you down. And instead, you're pimping Captain America,
Hey,
and
fantastic. Let's look.
And Hawkeye Freefall.
Yeah, Hawkeye. First of all, this is
my surprise of the week is that Garin is allowed to review comics.
This was really good. So in the first one, you see Ronan is back, but it's clearly not Clint Barton.
Yeah,
it's Clint Barton the whole time. You see at the end, it's actually Clint Barton.
How did he find himself?
We don't know. So at the end, he's like going after one of the hoods.
How did he pick up a truck?
He's going after one of the hoods hideouts, and the kid behind the counter. The kid, he's going after the IT kid. It's like, oh no, you're Clint Barton. He says, what? He says, oh, I'm not Clint. He's like, no, of course you are. You're using a stupid voice. You're Clint Barton. He's like, takes his mask off. How'd you know? It was him the whole time. It's like,
so it's him with somebody superpowered backing him up to. He's pulling the thing where Batman and Superman's in the suit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we don't know who this Ronin is though, other than him.
That's kind of fun.
I don't think it started off as him.
Damn you.
I don't think it started off as him, but I think it wound up being him. I think the other person, there are two Ronins running around. His costume is someone else's. I don't think it was started off that way. Because I think what he realized is if he could steal money from the crooks, he could give it away and be a philanthropist. I think it's what he really wanted to do. He wanted to be a big shot again.
Okay, wait a minute. He carries a bow and he didn't just put on a Robin Hood costume? It's the most ridiculous damn thing I've ever heard.
He would have to be Green Arrow.
Immortal Hulk. Yeah,
I hear it's awesome.
It really is. Did you not get one?
I did. I'm like 4 inches behind.
Because you keep wasting your reading time.
I'm not wasting my reading time.
Like
that.
No. Yeah. Immortal Hulk.
That's all you have to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could tell our loyal listeners and the people on
guys, if you've been reading Immortal Hulk, it's fantastic. You keep reading Immortal Hulk. This feels like a middle. The best part was the little Viking dude that looks like he's one of the Looney Tunes, only in white, showing up at the end.
You talking about Gossamer, the red, big red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shows up floating in the air, and he has all of the
people. Yeah.
all of the things that were destroying Albuquerque or whatever little town it was, in little balls, and basically is going to glam shame the Hulk. So yeah, Immortal Hulk. Still good. Al Ewing, we love you. Keep doing what you're doing. This is my surprise book of the week. New Mutants #6.
Yeah.
This
just rewrote people's minds.
Mammon and Maxim.
Great book. Fantastic.
I have come to loathe the space parts of the story.
Yeah.
Not that they're not good,
but the parts with Beak and Angel have been great.
Because Tatiana was wonderful.
Oh yeah, my God, yes.
You want to make out? Do you want to wake out? Well, it was fight or so. I guess I have to kill you all. And the next panel, they're like, well, they're all dead.
But then they skip back to these guys.
But we've been going back to Earth with Beak and
Angel.
Yeah,
and their kids. They're like 14 kids.
And
his parents have now been murdered.
Executed. Executed is the nice way to put it.
Yeah.
And
it's bad.
And so these two little lovely tykes who have kind of been villains throughout the X-Men's history.
But they're not villains. They're just misunderstood. They misunderstand.
They're capricious children that are capricious children.
Right.
Children. And
so they basically.
This is a very thought-evoking, very emotional issue. And it's like New Mutants is like, okay, cool, I'm reading this. It doesn't really. Boom Boom.
I love Boom Boom.
I do too.
Always had the characters. So basically, they have
she always half naked though?
I don't know. So they have this power dampening thing. So she loses her power, and this big bad mobster is like, I'm gonna get you now. She beats his behind, and he's like,
I don't need powers. I've been in Blackout Group since I was 12.
It's like so, yeah. And Armor, of course, can't use her power most of the time, but I love Armor. She's an amazing character.
Go ahead.
So what else we got here?
He didn't get to Immortal Hulk. He didn't get to Conan the Barbarian, one of the best and most consistent books in the Marvel Universe. What did you read, Garin?
So I felt an obligation to try this. Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle, which doesn't have Spider-Man in it. So
he likened it to Gotham PD.
So Robbie Robertson has realized the only way to save the Bugle is to go deep, go investigative stories, go big, stop using these stupid Facebook meme things, and do something big. So he rehires on the entire staff. He rehires Peter as a photographer again. So Peter goes out and starts taking pictures of Spider-Man. they started investigating. So Robbie Robertson's niece is there. She starts investigating the story that there's webbing all over like the Brooklyn area. So she starts following all the webbing. And when she gets to the end, she sees this guy completely upside down, almost dead. The webbing has been sticking there. But it looks like Peter's being framed because Peter never would have just left a random person there unless it was a criminal. But he always leaves them in plain sight so the cops can come get him. So this is interesting. Peter Urich is following a story about these missing scientists.
Ben Urich?
Ben Urich, I'm sorry, that's Peter. Ben Urich, I'm sorry. He is following the story of these missing scientists, and he, of course, almost gets blown up. So,
all right, kids. So your mission for the week is to shame Garin for wasting time on Daily Bugle.
This was.
Was it your surprise book of the week? Was it
surprisingly
so good?
bad. Surprisingly bad. Yeah.
Go shame him.
So,
find him on Facebook and shame him for the Daily Bugle.
Surprisingly good. Actually, wasn't surprising, which is awesome because it's Charles. Star Wars #2. Luke toward the end gets his hand back, but no, there
is practicing with a blaster because he doesn't have a lightsaber.
Yep. So,
but last panel with someone who looks like a Jedi speaking to Luke and saying, "Come get your saber."
That was interesting
because he doesn't. I mean, we know from sequel movies.
We know from Episode 7 that quite literally it's in someone else's hands 20 years later.
Yeah.
So we know, but we also know from
we're going to find
6 that he recreates his lightsaber. It's green instead of blue.
We're going to find out that where he learns how to make lightsabers. The question that has been burning since the 80s: how did Luke, who had never been trained,
never been answered? This is the answer. So I'm actually really excited about this.
But first time I've been that much.
But more importantly, Lando goes to Tatooine to go get Han, and Han's not there.
Lando is the traitorous. Anyway,
he's not a traitor though.
He is the most opportunistic man in the entire universe.
Thor number 2.
Number 2.
Let's talk about the first 2 pages.
As Donny Cates destroys the DC universe.
Secret Crisis. Let's talk about the first 2 pages.
You do manage to work in it every episode.
You have a blue streak, a green streak, and a lightning bolt streak going across the front of the page. Oh, what possible universe could that be in?
It mentions the Amazonian, I think, in the text, but
yeah.
Donny
Cates, why would you give us the Justice League in a
because he's that guy who can.
Because
Donny Cates has no fear of what he puts on his panels, and I love him for it. It's he's one of my favorites. So
clearly, it had Christ in one of the other ones.
What I enjoyed,
Christ in it.
So Superman and Jesus.
Oh, there you go.
What I really enjoyed about it was the fact that Thor is not afraid to slap Galactus around.
Cuts 2 of his fingers off. It's awesome.
Busts a knee out from underneath him with Mjolnir. God, so good. If you're not reading Thor right now, you're missing a really, really, really
genuinely
great book.
That's not a joke. You're just missing a huge book. X-Force.
The tagline of this book is "Beast is a douchebag."
Well, Beast
is an overly arrogant, thinks he knows what's going on and doesn't douchebag.
It's interesting. This is a darker Beast than we're used to. Really, because he's almost torturing people. Not almost. He actually is torturing people. I mean, it's like he's going to get to the bottom of what's going on, and he's going to torture you to do it.
Yep.
So,
arrogant Beast, though, I absolutely do not like.
This was a good book, but it was a little creepy because Beast was, that dude.
Yep.
So. And last but not least, for this review episode is X-Men number 5.
Have we had lead up to the Vault before this?
Nope, not really.
I really felt like
episode 4 did, but before that, no. I mean, unless there was a Vault issue and something I missed in one of the Uncanny series from a few years ago. It's
I've been planning for a couple of days now to take some time and go back and reread 1 through 4 because we're dealing with something called the Vault, and the Vault is. This very, very much like the world, but it's for techno-organic life, and
time does not work the same way there.
And they're gonna Sync,
X-23.
X-23. I know who's the other person.
Sync, X-23, and Morph.
Not
Morph.
Anyway, they send 3 mutants in to trick the Vault, and they actually get them inside. And then Scott actually is the big blue Boy Scout. He's like, well, Professor, how long are they really going to be in there? And it's like 540 years. And he's like, oh my God, what have I done? And so...
And then if they're not dead, there's no resurrection protocols. So they're just gone.
No, if they die in the vault, they're done. They're done.
Until the vault opens. And then the signal can come out.
No, it's 540 years within the vault. But we're going to get old man Laura out of this.
But we're not, though.
Yeah.
Because
she's going to age 540 years. She's going to be the only one to come out.
So basically, Wolverine's going to have to kill her so that she'll be resurrected as her old self.
In 3 months, we're going to... In 3 months in the continuities timeline...
Yeah, which is...
We're going to get...
12 issues.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
insane.
So... Really interesting, and I wasn't ready for that.
Great book.
Hickman... We wonder why we're a little bit behind. Hickman's setting up...
He has a bigger picture. He really does. It's been... Reading his writing for X-Men has just been phenomenal. In fact, it's funny. One of our regulars, his name is Daniel. Shout out Daniel. He's been going back and picking up everything Hickman he can find from the Marvel Universe, from Fantastic Four to Avengers, X-Men, whatever. And he literally has been trying to go figure out, like, he's trying to go kind of decipher Hickman's information because he thinks that there's more information back there that we're missing from today. That there's things that he's been doing for a long time. So
I believe it's very possible.
So yeah. Anyway, so kind of interesting to see what he's got to say about it. So, so I'm done for this. Are you done?
I'm done.
So yeah, this is pretty good. Did you? So my number 4 was my 4 for this week was Star Wars number 2.
What are we reviewing for?
Green Lantern number 3, Thor number 2, and X-Men number 5. Did your 4 stand up?
Yeah, Star Wars, Thor, TMNT, and Justice League.
They stood up what you wanted to
except for Justice League, and I was a little pissed at the ending. But in Scott Snyder, I trust, so I'm not too upset about it.
All right, well, we're going to do a review episode next. We're going to talk preview for next week. Excuse me. So we'll talk about that a little bit. So thanks again, as always, for listening to the printed panel. Thanks for reviewing us on YouTube. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for, of course, paying attention to us and giving us this information.
We got to pick our book of the week.
Oh, book of the week.
I knew we were missing something.
Book of the week for next week?
Book of the week for them to vote on.
Oh, book of the week to vote on.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Redneck 25.
Wow.
I loved it.
That is a
Redneck
bold
25.
choice.
I really did. That's my favorite of the bunch. I can see you doing Avengers the Wasteland. I can see you doing Avengers number 30.
Thor number 2.
Thor number 2?
Thor number 2.
Mad respect. Mad respect. Can see your pen. Thank you. So, Thor number 2. Yeah, yep. Mad respect. That's awesome.
All right, guys, please go on Facebook and vote. If you don't have Facebook and you still want to vote,
please contact us.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that.
Smoke signals, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, love you. Bye.